Hi, hi, hi. I'm China D, and you're listening and watching my new podcast, the Unserious Podcast. Um, yeah, thank you guys for tuning in, watching, listening. This is my first new podcast by myself, and I wanted to do this podcast one because I'm bored at home and have nothing really to do, but I'm seeing all this stuff on social media, and I just want to talk about it because I'm bored. And I believe my opinion is valid. If it's not, oh well. But that's one reason. And then two, I just can't take anything serious. And podcasting is one of them. So I'm like, if everybody else has a podcast, why can't I? Why? So here we are. And I'm just so excited for this new journey on my new podcast. So thank you for everybody tuning in, watching, and just listening. So we're gonna get into it. So I want to start my podcast every episode with something I couldn't take serious this week. And whether that's in social media, my life, on the news, everything. So the thing that I couldn't take serious this week was DDG. He is someone I don't take serious because one, he's a streamer, and two, look at him. Are we serious? But more specifically, I don't take his rap career serious, and neither should he, because he just dropped a new song about his son Halo and his baby mother Hallie, and I'm just like, sir, why are you talking about the Little Mermaid like this? Like, be happy she made you her baby father. It's time to move on. And probably the reason you're not getting your son is because you're doing a whole bunch of fuck shit that she don't appreciate. Duh. So that's the thing this week that I just couldn't take serious as I sip my tea. So, to get into the segments, my first segment is a little fun. It's unserious news. Doo, unserious, unserious news, unserious news. Yes, that is the theme song. So, there are some things in the on Instagram and on the Shade Room, Hollywood Unlock in the news that I just don't take serious. And we're gonna get into a couple of those topics. So one of those topics that I was just like, this can't be news. Like people people actually like do this. And one of those and that topic is dealing with Anthony deadbeat baby fathers, to be honest. That's a bubble. But more specifically, Anthony Ederson, I think that's how you say his name. Hopefully I'm correct. Edwardson filed to the judge that so basically he has four baby moms and four kids. He's only claiming one of his kids. And then, but yeah, I don't know how you have four kids but only claiming one when you know you slept with these ladies. Anyways, but he's only claiming one, and I guess one of his baby moms, I think her name's Alicia, she went to court claiming she wants child support, of course, but in California, not in Atlanta. So he won that because he put in a petition saying that she should only get child support in Atlanta and not in California, even though their daughter was born in California. And I just find this so fucking unserious because you're so his baby mom, it seems like all his baby moms are way older than him, like in their 30s, like early 30s to 35, let's say. And Anthony Edgerton, if I'm not wrong, I believe he's 24. So I was just like, you can't be serious. Like, you guys slept with this little boy His name is Anthony Edwards. My apologies. Yes, he's 23 actually, which makes it even worse. So you guys slept with this young man thinking he was going to make you thinking he was going to be like, "Yeah, I want to take care of all these kids that I'm having." Or like, "Yeah, I'm going to stay with this baby moms and I'm going to be basically I think they all thought he was going to be Nick Cannon. Like, you can't be serious. He's 23. Like, be so for real. I'm 24. Most 23, 24-year-olds don't want to have kids right now. They want to live life. They want to have fun. So I'm like, you 30-year-old ladies thought, okay, one, he plays basketball. He did sign a good paycheck. He has a good paycheck. Like, mm, like his deal that he signed, immaculate. Can't be mad at that. But y'all thought he also blatantly told these ladies in text messages, I do not want that kid with you. Have an abortion. I don't want it. And y'all still wanted it. Y'all knew the minute he told y'all to have that abortion, don't have my kid, I don't want it, I don't want to take care of it. Y'all knew from that moment he did not give a fuck. He did not want to take care of that child. Like, we can't be serious. We like as a female generation, we cannot be serious. This boy is blatantly telling you, I don't want the kid. And then y'all are mad at him because y'all went to go have the kid and now he doesn't want anything to do with the kid. He told you that when you were pregnant. Like, is you cool? He told you when you was pregnant that he did not want that child. And you still went to go have it. So yeah, he's not gonna take it serious when you have the actual kid. But I also just have a problem with these 30-year-olds going for these 20-year-olds, knowing that most of them are just starting their life and you want to give them a child. Like, most of these kids got out of high school 4 years ago. Like, be so for real. Be so for real. And y'all want them to have full on families. Like, I don't respect Drea. Nobody should. Because her baby father and her son are the same age in their 20s. I think he's like 22. Like, be for real. And you gave him a child. Be for real. Like, stop, stop, stop. That's why I just can't take that situation serious because this little boy told you multiple times he does not want to have kids with you. What made it worse is that she showed the messages that he did not want to have a kid with her. And you still went on to have that kid, and now you're upset he doesn't want to be part of that kid's life. Like, silence speaks volume, and that's what you just need to do is be silent. Because you did that to yourself. Nobody else did that to you. But that's something in the news that I just couldn't take serious because I'm just like, this is a child. Like my brother, he's 21. I'm 24. We're not taking parenthood serious right now. So for him to say, "Oh yeah, I'm having four kids." Yeah. He only is gonna take the one he's with right now. I bet you he don't even take that serious. But you know what? I digress. I digress. Let me get something to drink because that was a lot. Mm. Okay, so second thing in the news that I just was like, we have to stop taking these people serious is these Instagram hairstylists. Gotta stop taking them serious because these bitches don't know how to do fucking hair. Like, they're putting bad stuff on our hair, and we're just like, oh, this is great. It looks great until it doesn't. But the situation I'm talking about specifically is the hairstylist who dragged the 15-year-old because she said she was gonna run. Even though the 15-year-old's family came out and was like, she was never gonna run. She was gonna pay you because, and the reason she didn't is because she sent it to the wrong Cash App. So all you had to do, if I'm being honest, is be like, "Hey girl, make sure you're sending it to the right Cash App. Let me make sure. Let me double check." That's on you. You didn't double check. You just assumed. Like, girl, do better. And the bad thing is, you posted it. The hairstylist posted the video of her dragging a 15-year-old. And you're 18. So, yeah, that was a dumb ass move, you idiot. You posted you assaulting a 15-year-old and you're an adult. You're 18. I'm sorry. Me personally, if that was my sister, I would come and beat your ass. 'Cause what? You were, oh, she's 15. That was so unnecessary. And now you're facing assault charges. Good job. Really. Like, claps to you. Good job. Now you're facing assault charges when this situation never had to be brought to the internet, one, you brought it there and now you look stupid. Two, on top of that, you charged the girl's card because you had to get a deposit from her. And why didn't you just do that in the first place if you knew she was going to run? You had the girl's card information. So you could have just charged the card and that shit went through and you canceled it. So I'm just sitting here like, this bitch can't be serious. Like, you put your hands on a 15-year-old when you could have just charged her card because you had the card on file already. Like, bitch, be for real. You just can't. That's why honest to God, we have to stop taking these Instagram stylists, hairstylists serious because they're not licensed. Most of them aren't. And they're just doing too much. Y'all are charging an arm and a fucking leg for a 12-inch bust down. That bitch stops right here. Why am I paying $500? Like, are you crazy? Like, bitches, you cool? I just don't understand it. Like, I'd rather go for like braids. They want $13,000. No. You want a deposit. You want the actual money. I'm sorry, I'm not doing it. I will take my black ass behind down to the Africans and let them do my braids. And I will do my own sewing. I will do my own press. I'll figure it out. I'll go to the Dominicans. But I will not go to these stylists because they're doing too much and they need to be put on blast and exposed for the BS they're doing because it's unnecessary and you're charging too much. Like, be serious. I just I just couldn't. I just I just look at people and I'm just like, no. The answer is just no. It's just no. But so the last thing that is going to be in the news that I just was like, oh, okay, is I'm sorry, our president and the people that voted for him. I cannot take y'all serious, mainly the people that voted for him. We, as people that I'm a Democrat, I have no problem saying it. I voted for Kamala. I have no problem saying it because look at where we are, guys. We are in March, literally March 12th, and so much shit has happened. And now that they're not getting their ways, these little Republicans, they're not getting their way. People in Nebraska, Minnesota, all them states aren't getting their way because Donald Trump is not giving them their way. Now they want to be like, "Oh my God. ah, I can't believe he's doing this. We're so sorry." Like, keep that apology for somebody else. Keep that apology for when we actually fucking needed it. Now look at you. Stupid. Like, be serious. I just am like, y'all know that he talked about sending illegal immigrants back to their countries. Y'all know he talked about just a whole bunch of bullshit, talking about, oh, he's gonna stop public education. The Department of Education has to go. He's gonna send back immigrants. He's just gonna we're gonna have more money. No, that hasn't happened. He's not doing any of it. And now y'all feel some type way because what did y'all expect when those illegal immigrants get sent back to their country? Who did y'all expect to maintain your farms, to clean your grounds, to maintain your pools? Who did y'all expect to do that when they're not there? Because I could tell you one fucking thing, black people ain't doing it. So who, who, who did y'all expect to do it? Exactly. That's what I thought. Y'all expected Trump to figure shit out. He's figuring it out, but it's not in your favor. Now look at y'all. Y'all are like, oh my God. Now that he closed the IRS, what is it? I think the IRS. Y'all are like, oh my God, we don't have jobs. We don't have da-da-da. Yeah, now y'all look stupid. Now y'all are upset because he's canceling different things. Like, what did y'all really expect? I'm lost. Cause I'm sorry, all the Democrats and some Republicans knew this man, once he gets in the office, is about to be a shit show. Like, are we serious? This nigga has fucking Elon Musk as his right-hand man. Why? Elon Musk. I'm not gonna lie, that man is smart with money, business-wise. He grew Tesla into what it is. But that man does not know anything about politics. And y'all just thought, oh my God, yes. Woo! Like, be so for real. That's why I just can't take our country serious because there's so many ignorant human beings on this in this country that is just like, yeah, that's great. Like, no, that's not great. He blatantly told y'all, I'm s- I'm gonna make y'all do the work. Y'all are gonna have no jobs. Like, stop, stop, stop. Ugh. And now y'all are upset. There was this one lady on TikTok who was like, does nobody care about Nebraska? Does nobody care about Nebraska? Like, and then some lady came on and was like, no, we don't, because y'all didn't care about us. And that's 100% right. Like, y'all didn't care that we were gonna go right back. Y'all thought Donald Trump was gonna do immaculate things when he got in office. We're in third month, and we're in the third month of his presidency, and he's done fucked shit up. And y'all are upset. Y'all are gonna be upset for the next 4 years. Us Democrats, we already knew it, so we were prepared for it. But yeah, those are just some of the stuff in the news that I was just like, you cannot be serious. Like, ah. But those were like the three main things. And I was just like, I gotta talk about it on my podcast. But we're gonna take a break and come back for our next segment. Hey, 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 welcome back. So, my next segment that I decided was gonna be a little fun, a little messy. The segment is called Sticky Situations, and these are just situations that I found on like TikTok and like stuff I thought was like, child. Oh, no, 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 no. So the one that was really came up on my For You page a lot was, so I guess this girl's name is Michaela. So it's about an Aspen trip. And it's just a little interesting. So I'm gonna play like a speed up version for you guys, and then I'm gonna give my opinion. Sorry, guys. I gotta find the beginning.
I watched that 13-part story, so you don't have to. That's Christina. And she's telling us about her girls' trip to Aspen. So she just got back from a trip to Nigeria and she decided that she wanted to do a trip to Aspen. Hit up a bunch of her homegirls. They all decided to do it. She also hit up her videographer, Jordan, to come out and like take pictures for the girls, right? There's two girls that the story ends up being about. One girl's named Deja, the other girl's Michaela. So Michaela and Christina are actually friends, and Deja is Michaela's friend. So all the girls that decided that they were going to go on the trip, they all get into a group chat together and they all decide, like, hey, we just want to kind of lounge. We don't want to do like a whole like itinerary thing. We might want to do some excursions, but nothing too serious. None of them really wanted to ski either. They were like, we don't even know how to do that. Deja ends up reaching out to Christina and being like, here, girl, do you know how much these excursions are going to cost? Because I need a ballpark number because I have a trip right after this trip, right? So she's like, yeah, totally understandable. She's like, let me figure this out. So she starts sending like Airbnb costs, how much the excursions are going to be. All that is being discussed in the group chat. Now, everyone's being proactive. Everybody's responding back. Deja is not, right? So Christina ends up sending the Airbnb options. She ends up sending two options. The one that was $400, she sent it, but no one confirmed that. She ended up sending a $500 option per person, and that's the one that ended up getting booked. So Christina sends a message into the group chat like, "Hey guys, I booked the Airbnb. Here's how much it's going to be. Go ahead and send me the money when you have a chance. I already put down the deposit." At this point, everybody else on the trip has confirmed and told Christina when they'd be sending the money. Deja has not said anything though. So Christina ends up reaching out to Deja and being like, "Hey girl, are you still coming on the trip?" And this is when Deja responds and says, "Hey girl, money is tight. I also don't want to affect the cost of the Airbnb for the group." Christina is like, tight as in like you can't make it, or tight as in like you can't do the excursions? And Deja's like, well, I covered my flight and I covered the cabin already, but I wouldn't be able to do the excursions and I would want to do the excursions. So Christina's like, well, you're gonna have to figure out what you're gonna do and then let me know. So then shortly after that, Deja ends up reaching out to Christina again and finally telling her, like, yo, I can't make it. I'm so sorry. Like, basically just like putting her hands up in the air and being like, I'm backing out of the trip, right? So Christina's like, okay, damn. So she hits up everybody in the group and they all decide to try to figure out if they can find somebody else to fill her spot. After trying to do that and, ending up failing, they're like, damn, we're going to have to eat this cost. So then Christina's thinking like, well, she did say she didn't want to raise the price for everybody else in the trip. So let me see if she'll pay at least half the cost of her trip, right? So she hits up Deja and she's like, hey girl, like we can't find anybody to take your spot. Do you think you can just cover half of your costs? Like, you did say that you wanted to come, you were confirmed, and then you backed out after we had already booked it last minute. And then Deja, she was like, I didn't know there was a cancellation fee. Like, she's like, even if we did back out of this Airbnb and try to get another one, we're going to lose out on $1,500. So she's like, can you just pay half of yours? And Deja basically said no. She was like, no, I'm not going to do that. I tried to find Deja's response because apparently she made a video, but I couldn't find it. But I can say what, Christina responded to in her series. Responded to the fact that Deja stated that the price jumped out of nowhere for the cost of the Airbnb. And Christina's like, no, we discussed it. There was discourse in the group chat where they all decided they wanted to have a jacuzzi inside of the Airbnb. For us to have a jacuzzi, we had to get the $500 per person property. So that's what we did. She's like, the price didn't just jump out of nowhere. Christina also stated that she actually reached out to your mutual friend, Michaela, and they both discussed saying, like, she was aware of the price. Like, you were in various group chats. You were in an Instagram group chat that you had to add yourself into if you were confirmed and wanting to go on this trip. You were hearting messages inside of the group chat about food and other things. You were very much involved in the conversation. It's just when it came down to like payments and stuff like that that she went quiet. And so they were kind of trying to figure out like
That bitch ain't got no money.
willing to pay half of the trip when she had a chance to back out of the Airbnb before it was booked, but she let them book the Airbnb. And then a few days later, after Christina reached out to her, finally said, like, hey,
I'm gonna stop it there. I'm so fucking sorry, but if you have no money, do not go on no trips. If you can't pay your way, don't go on the trips. If you know you have a trip after or before the trip that was being planned, don't go on the trip. It would save you so much more time and energy. And then I understand where that girl Deja is coming from because, like, $500 for an Airbnb, bitches, you crazy? Are you? How many people you invite? Two? Like, stop. I'm just, I'm sitting here like, okay, Christina is the main girl who's planning this trip to Aspen. Let's be very clear. Aspen is fucking expensive. It's not no Poconos, no nothing like that. That shit is money. So I just think Christina did not plan this well. And Deja, if you know you are broke, have no money, going on other trips, don't say you can go. Be honest. That's what That's where I think like bitches have problems of being honest when it comes to going on trips. Like, this bitch knows she cannot pay. Why are you going? But I digress. We're gonna listen to the rest of this.
I won't be able to make it to the trip. But at the end of the day, in that same message, she stated, hey, I also don't want to increase the price of the room for everybody. So that gave Christina the inclination, like, oh, so you're going to cover your charges. A lot of people wanted to go on this trip and they dropped out at different times stating whatever their reasons were. It was just a principle of the fact of when you said it and how you went about the situation that I think Christina and a lot of other people in the group were upset about. Mind you, Christina is covering an entire videographer, photographer to come out to the trip, his cost, his food, all of that.
Bitch, that's on you. Ain't nobody told. Bitch, we can get a Canon camera, some little Polaroid cameras. You want a videographer there. You want a photographer there. Yes, you have to cover that. I did not say I wanted that. Why are we doing all that? Also, you're giving this nigga a free trip to Aspen because you're covering everything and he's making money. Like, no, he cannot come. Anyways, let's listen to the rest.
And she just wanted, everybody to go and have a chill, fun Aspen trip. Another thing that Christina pointed out was the fact that she didn't know.
Also, sorry. If this is supposed to be like a relaxed, fun trip and nobody's going skiing, snowboarding, or whatever, why do we need a videographer? He gonna take pictures of us in the house? Anyways,
That Deja was actually a flight attendant and she was going to fly out to Aspen on standby. She was also bringing into question like how Deja mentioned that she had her flight covered and she had her cabin money, but she just wouldn't have money for the excursions. She's like, well, you didn't need money for a flight. Like you're a flight attendant, you were going to fly standby anyway. So she's just like clocking her, increasing the hates being called a liar. So she was just like, let's just pull out all the receipts, right? And if you want to go to her page, you can see all of these like screenshots of conversations that she's posting showing how Deja was interacting with the conversation and like very much was confirmed to go on the trip and last minute backed out, which is what she had the most problem with. I guess during Deja's story time, she said that she felt like Christina was mean girling her and saying that she was broke. And Christina was like, broke is a spectrum. You might have your bills paid, you might have food on your
bitch, you're broke.
trips and like have disposable income essentially. And she's like, that's the type of broke I'm feeling you're giving, right? Christina said the whole reason she brought this whole situation on social media was to ask the, like on Reddit, those threads that are like, am I the asshole? She wanted to know, is she an asshole for asking you to pay half of your cost when you canceled last minute and had everybody else basically having to scramble to figure out your portion of the trip. And because of the way you responded, she was like, maybe I'm tripping. Let me ask other people. But she wasn't trying to like mean girl her or whatever. That's what Christina's saying from her perspective. So when Christina first planned this trip, she came on and she did this whole little story time telling us about Deja, right? Deja is the friend of her mutual friend, Michaela. So now it's the day of the trip, right? So now they're all flying out to Aspen. Deja's not coming. Another girl dropped out as well. Michaela is coming. She ends up texting Christina and being like, hey girl, do you think you can cover the payment for my excursions? Because I just got hit with a $200 Uber to go to the airport and I missed my flight. So I got to get another flight for $175. And so Christina's doing the math and she's like, well, if those things hadn't happened and you still had to pay the $250 for the excursions, that's telling me you brought $125 to spend on this trip. Like she's thinking like that's not enough money, right? So she's like, hey girl, I actually didn't pay for the excursions. Another girl on the trip did, so you're gonna have to pay her. So like just talk to her about it. Like I'm sure she'll be fine with it kind of thing, right? So she's like, we'll wait for you. Michaela's flight ends up not even landing until way later in the day. They end up burning a whole day waiting for her to land because everybody else landed around 9 a.m., around noon. Michaela didn't land until later in the afternoon. So they finally picked her up. They have a 3 to 4 hour drive from where they got picked up in Denver, I think, all the way to Aspen, right? So they're driving, everybody's hungry. They all stop to get some food, right? They get some food, they eat it. They all get to the Airbnb. Michaela leaves like a bunch of trash in the car apparently. And then she goes upstairs and runs and grabs the master bedroom. And everybody's thinking like, why would you even think you're going to get the master bedroom, you know? And then they go to the car and they're like, who left all this trash in the car? And Michaela's like, oh, I left it in my bag. And she's like, oh, it's this little cup. You're complaining about a little cup. She's like, I don't care what it is. Pick up after your stuff. And then she left her luggage like in the front. And they're like, whose luggage is this? And Michaela's like, oh, I thought somebody's going to get it for me. And they're looking at her like, who did you think was going to get your luggage for you? So she gets her stuff. She ends up realizing she's not going to get the master room after going back and forth and it turning into a whole thing. She ends up bunking with another girl. So they're all getting settled into the Airbnb now. Christina wanted to like recreate like a back.
Bitch, If you know you came on here with $125, what told you, oh my God, the master bedroom is mine? Is you dumb? Like, you cannot be serious. You came on this trip, one, you dirty. You came on this trip with $125. Aspen is expensive. You can't pay for your excursions. But yeah, in your mind, you was like, yeah, I'm gonna get this master bedroom. What's not clicking, Steven? What's not clicking? Cause it couldn't be me. Cause I'll start spazzing on you. Let's finish this story.
Girl scene type of thing. They have the whole videographer. They wanted to do a little scene. Her best friend was already irritated because they actually ended up getting into it in the fight over Michaela and her behavior. And she really wanted to like go after this girl and like be like, why were you late? Da, 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 da. And the other girl and Christina both stood up for Michaela and was like, girl, it's fine. Like, just leave her alone. They like actually try to defend this girl, right? So when they tried to recreate the bad girl scene in the Airbnb later on, her best friend was like, leave me alone. Like, I'm not in the mood right now. So they ended up being like, whatever. People got drunk. Christina ended up falling asleep in the hot tub. It was a chill night, right? They wake up the next morning. They're all getting ready. Christina had promised Michaela that she would do her hair before they had even gotten to Aspen, but Michaela's like leisurely waking up late. Everybody's like trying to get ready. They're getting themselves ready. Michaela walks up to Christina and she's like, can you do my hair? Can you straighten it? And Christina's like, what do you mean? We have to leave an hour. You're not even showered. Like, how am I supposed to straighten your hair for you? And so she's like, come on, do it. I don't know how to do it. Da, da, da. She's like badgering her, right? One of the other girls ends up looking at the girl and being like, girl, no one's going to help you get ready. Like, go get ready yourself, you know? She ends up coming back and asking for like makeup. I guess she ripped her jumpsuit. She's asking for a jumpsuit. She's basically getting on everybody's nerves already. She didn't bring anything that she actually needed. She tried to put some of these shoes on and be like, oh, I want to wear these shoes. These are my size. And the girl's like, those are my shoes. No, you can't wear them. She's like, why not? She's like, because they're my shoes. She tried to take someone's headband. Like, it was actually insane how unprepared this girl seems like she came to this trip. Mind you, the video.
What did you put in your suitcase? See, okay. Now I've gone on a trip where like there's been that annoying bitch and you just want to be like, bitch, stop talking to me. Just leave me alone. But at least tell me you got something in your bag. Like, you cannot, I don't understand how females go on trip unprepared. Like, me personally, I know how to pack. And I literally set my clothing up for the week. And I'm like, this is what I'm wearing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then I bring extra clothing just in case something happens. That I just don't understand how females go on trips and not have like extra clothing or like your makeup, your hair stuff. I don't understand that because you like this must be your first trip ever that you don't know how to pack. And even if this was my first trip ever, I would overpack. I I just don't understand. Don't understand. But we're gonna finish this story.
For Jordan, he has a girlfriend, and Michaela's over here pressing her boobs up on him, asking him to like feed her a chip. And he's looking at her like, no, like make yourself your own plate. This is everybody's Taco Tuesday. You can make your own plate. You can feed yourself your own taco. You can feed yourself your own chips. Like, stop making people feel uncomfortable. Apparently, later on, Christina goes into how Michaela was making everyone feel really uncomfortable. Like, every picture that Jordan took of her was super inappropriate. It was like her touching herself. It was just like too much. Like she said, all the girls and Jordan collectively felt extremely uncomfortable. I guess after making all the meat for the Taco Tuesday, they ended up like putting everything away. But then Michaela, I guess, took like a big scoop of taco meat and left it out all night. And when they asked her about it in the morning, she's like, oh, I thought we were going to eat it. And she's like, why would you think that? Like, why didn't you put it away? She ends up putting it away, puts the plate inside the dishwasher, and then leaves the dishwasher open. And they had it running. And they walk by and they're like, who left the dishwasher open? Michaela's like, it was me. And they're like, what's wrong with you? Like, why don't you close the dishwasher? Michaela was also bumming off of everybody's alcohol and trying to get drunk off everybody's drink and not trying to spend a single dime. Mind you, Christina already told her, like, I got you, I'm going to pay for your food and your drink. But it just got too excessive to the point that, like, they all started buying their own personal bottles. So they get their own personal bottles and they get in the car. And Michaela's like, oh my God, what's that? What's that? And they're like, it's our personal bottles. Like, it's for us, you know? And so she's like, oh, wow. Christina just felt like Michaela was using everybody like her personal maid to, like, watch her stuff, get her things, buy her stuff. Not to mention, she was trying to order top shelf, like, Don Julio shots on Christina's tab. And she's
First of all, Christina, you're dumb. I wouldn't. First of all, this bitch is already. You know she came onto the trip with $125. She can't pay for shit. Me personally, if I know my friend can't pay for it, I'll cover it. But you gotta set some ground rules like, hey, don't be buying top shelf shit. Like this couldn't be my friend group. Me personally. Like this could not, because it would become a serious situation where I would fight everybody. Easily. Fight them on spot.
Like, what is wrong with you? She's like, I would have gotten a sweet tea. So when they got their personal shots, she felt some type of way. And then she's asking, like, okay, I want one. They're like, well, go spend money, go buy one. She's like, did you guys make friends with the bartender? Like, you think he'll hook me up? They're like, what is wrong with you? Go pay for your alcohol. Like, be an adult. So they all end up taking shots. Jaden, one of the other girls, ends up getting a little sick. So Christina's telling her, like, take a shot and make you feel better, whatever. So she gives her a shot. And then Michaela sees that and she's like, oh, so you're going to give her and you're going to give Jordan a shot, but you're not going to give me a shot? Okay, it's giving you don't like me. It's giving mean girl, da 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 da. Christina's looking at her like, what? And this is the only time Jordan apparently like really addressed her. Jordan turned around and was like, keep my name out of your mouth. Don't look my way. Don't talk my way. Nothing. And then Jaden also turned around and went off. And she's like, you've just been complaining and nagging this whole entire trip. And Michaela's like, what are you talking about? I didn't say anything. I didn't even say your name. She's like, you literally just said our names. Like the entire time, even about like sitting in the back of the seat with the car that they rented, she was complaining. She's also the shortest person there. So it made more sense for her to go to the back. But guess she did not like it. But they were just like completely annoying. And she said, ultimately, you guys can kind of get the vibe of like how she was behaving on this trip. It was just completely like immature and ruining the vibe in a lot of situations. At one point, everybody was drunk. And I guess Michaela didn't think anybody would remember. And she said something along the lines of, I never said I didn't have money. I just said I didn't want to spend it. And everybody
Mm,
was just like, what? So you just been having everybody over here taking
mm,
care of you? When she pissed Jordan off and he turned around and told her, like, keep my name out of your mouth, he was like, watch me spend another dollar on her because I promise you I won't. And so she just got on everybody's nerves. And ultimately, they all came back. And now she's not trying to pay the $250 that she owes on the excursion. So this is when Christina came back on social media, was like, you guys been asking about the Aspen trip? Let me tell you. And so she starts telling us the story. And she's like, she just paid for the $250 that she owed the girl who is married and has children, 4 children. She was trying to keep money from that woman. So they basically all had to hound her, hound another friend who introduced them all to her and be like, yo, what is wrong with your friend? Why is she like not paying up? And then that mutual friend ended up reaching out to Michaela and being like, hey, it's embarrassing. Why do you owe people money? You know? And then she finally paid. And she was trying to say, like, I didn't say I wasn't going to pay. Did it? I said I wasn't going to pay right now. Mind you, right after they left the Aspen trip, she went on another trip and she was posting pictures of her at a resort having drinks, but you don't have money that you owe somebody. When they asked Michaela, hey, can you send the money? She was like, oh, I thought Christina was paying for my excursions. Christina's like, I paid for your food. I paid for your drinks. And then you wanted me to pay for your excursions? I'm not your man. Like, what are you talking about right now? Like, you need to pay it. Mind you, she didn't even pay for the hotel until the day before the trip. People had been paid Christina back. Michaela didn't pay until the very last day before they left. So she should have already known the vibes, you know? Ultimately, she said she blocked Michaela, never wants to talk to her again. I doubt she wants to talk to Deja again. Michaela, I guess, did make a story time. Again, I can't find it. When I went on her page, she's like writing 19 hours ago, as of me recording this, saying like, I'm going to drop the story time. I don't know if she will. Michaela came out and said that Christina was just lying about a lot of things and said that she was never broke. She never said she didn't have money. She just said she didn't have the money to pay right now because she was already on a trip. And Christina's saying, and that's not our problem. Like, you needed to pay when you said you were going to pay on this day. You should have paid on that day, not saying like, what's the point of paying right now? I can pay later. Like, no, you need to pay when you owe people money. Also, during a lot of the first discourse that was happening between Deja and Christina, Michaela was like the middleman between a lot of it. And so now looking back, Christina's thinking like, you might have been lying about a lot of those things because you were sitting there, Michaela, saying like, oh, Deja could just come. Deja can just come. Like, I can just cover her costs. I can cover her costs. Like, if Deja had come, how are you going to cover her costs if you couldn't even cover your own costs? Like, when they did one of the excursions, which was snowmobiling, Michaela actually crashed one of the snowmobiles. The instructor specifically told them, hey, don't pass anybody, don't speed by, like just go in a line, right? She ended up trying to speed by somebody and she ended up crashing into a bunch of other snowmobiles that are parked right there. She ended up popping the wheel of one of the snowmobiles. And she was telling her, I hope you have your credit card because you're going to have to pay for that. And she's like, oh, no, like, da da da. It's not even popped. It's not even popped. The instructor literally picked it up off the snow and popped it back in. Like, you definitely damaged that snowmobile. And so after doing stuff like that to like later on turn around and not pay the excursion fees is absolutely like, I think, insane. And then Michaela accused Jordan and Christina of sleeping together. And Christina's like, first of all, nobody slept with anybody during that trip. Most of these people are in relationships. Second of all, that didn't happen. Where's your receipts? Like, why are you just claiming things? Like, show me the receipts kind of thing. And she's like, you were the one that was pressed to like sleep with Jordan. And when we were all
Mm.
saying, hey, Jordan doesn't sleep with his clients, you turned around and said, oh, really? He doesn't? Because that's something you were really thinking about. Whereas Christina is like, I have a roster of men. They all know about each other. They all talk to each other. They're very much like well acquainted. I know what I'm doing. I'm a grown woman. Whereas you, since I shared the story time, and she even mentioned at one point, like during the trip, Michaela was on the phone with a man all day long talking to Max. And she was like, why can't Max send you money? I guess a bunch of men that are talking to
Mm.
Michaela and have proof that they're currently talking to Michaela ended up reaching out to Christina and being like, hey, who's Max? They're thinking like, I'm the one dating Michaela. Who's Max? And so she's like, maybe you need to like focus on getting your house in order because not only did you not have money to go on this trip in the first place and then you acted horribly, now you're trying to bring out allegations against me and Jordan that have nothing to do with what we're bringing forth, which is that you went on a trip, you had no money, and then you treated everybody horribly. You complained, you nagged, you were a complete just like burden on this entire.
Okay. I do want to thank the girl. Her name is Bethel. That's her TikTok tag. But so I thought this situation of the Aspen trip was actually fucking insane. Cause so Christina's the main girl who booked everything, has all the friends, whatever, makes a group chat. First girl, Deja, you canceled on them before the trip. You knew, I'm pretty sure, like most people know their finances before a trip. Bitch, you knew you didn't have that money. Why would you say yes to go on a trip, knowing damn fucking well you don't have that money? Two, if you're a flight attendant, you could just be on standby. You know you don't have the money for the excursions. You probably knew your friend Michaela didn't have the money for the excursions. So why were y'all going in the first place? Hmm. I just think it's funny that when when it comes to a trip, bitches just stop having money. I just think that's hilarious. Cause out of nowhere, you bitches can pay for hair, makeup, all that shit. But then God forbid you gotta pay somebody back, you don't have no money. And I do think it was kind of disrespectful that she waited so long, like, to tell Christina about not having the money. Or, like, and I'm sorry, Christina, you would have had me fucked up too. I'm not paying for half of the trip if I'm not going on it. I told you I'm not going on a trip. Do not expect me to pay. If I'm not going, my checkbook ain't going. N- I'm sorry, everybody, but that would be y'all problem. But it's not mine. Because I told her I'm not going. So don't expect me to pay for anything. Second girl, Michaela, you went on the trip with no money. How the fuck do you do that? Huh? How the fuck do you go on a trip with no money? I'm sorry, you lost me at that one because I just didn't understand that. How do you go on a trip with no money? Like if you can't pay your way, you shouldn't be going. And then you expect everybody else to pay? First of all, Christina, sorry, you were trying to be nice, but you're dumb. Why would you pay anything for that girl? She called you telling you, "Oh, I only you did the math. You know she only had $125." I would have been like, "Yo, you can't come." Like, and she paid you the day before for the Airbnb. Yes, she has no money. She's going on this trip with no money. I'm sorry, I wouldn't pay for that. Like, you gotta have at least like something. And I'm not paying for your excursions either. But yeah, I definitely would have pulled up on you to get my money back for the excursions though, because you're not paying for anybody. And then you say, "Oh, I'm not broke. I didn't say I didn't have the money. I said I didn't want to spend it." That would have pissed me off to an extent of where me and you would have to throw hands. Cause you know you have the money. You just don't want to spend it. And that's just like broke mentality. Like you know you're going on a trip, you have to spend money. That's how you eat, that's how like especially in a place you don't know, that's just how it goes. I thought I would share that story because that story really did have me pissed when I listened to it. Because I'm just like, you plan trips with people that don't have money. I did that one time, and I vowed to never do it again. One time, never again. And that was the headache of my life, and we are no longer friends. Well, we weren't really friends in the beginning, but we are no longer acquaintances because she was broke, and I, like, if we go on a trip, you can't be broke. You gotta have something, like something. Give me a little bit, a little bit. Thank you. But Christina, you were nice to plan that trip, but don't ever do that again. I also don't think you're the best planner. You also don't have the best friends, so just cut that. But that's the situation that I thought was sticky for our segment, Sticky Situations. And we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back with our last segment. All right, welcome back. We're going to do our last segment, and that the segment's name is Serious to Unserious Opinion. And so, something that I'm taking, it's something that I'm taking serious and something I'm not taking serious. So, something that right now I'm just taking serious is I don't really know. What am I taking serious? I think my health. That's what I'm taking really serious. Right now I'm in a taking Pilates, cycling, I'm doing a dance class. Like I think I started 75 hard at the beginning of January with my two best friends. And from then I started taking my health a lot serious. I started eating a lot better. I started drinking more water. And it's been helping a lot. Like I lost maybe like 8, 9 pounds. And I've started to feel a lot better. Like I look forward to now going to cycling. And that also might just be like my teachers. I go to cycling in Montclair. My teacher's name is Amanda and Joe. Love them. I started doing hot Pilates. It's great. Sweat a lot. I'm doing a reformers Pilates class this weekend. So I think I'm starting to take my health a lot serious. And I do really appreciate it because I'm 24, so like I'm not in sports or anything, but it's fun. Like I can definitely say like I'm having fun with it too. Like good music, having a good time, just breathing. Fantastic. Now, something that I'm just not taking serious, something that is just like, hey, is, mm, I'm thinking, mm, oh, something I'm just not taking serious is romantic relationships. Not saying that I don't want to be in one, like, I would eventually like to be in one, but I think right now I just want to have fun. Like, I just want to be outside having a good time. I don't want to take anybody too serious. Not that I have anybody right now, but I just don't want to take anybody too serious because I want to have a good time. It's not like I'm in a rush to get married or have kids. Like, I just want to have fun. And so I'm not taking like romantic relationships serious at all. But so those are the two things that I'm taking serious, and that's the sorry guys. That's the one thing I'm taking serious, and that's the second thing I'm t not taking serious. But that's about it for the pod. I want to thank everybody for listening and watching and just hear me talk. And there will be episodes every Friday. And thank you for listening to the Unserious Podcast with China D. Thanks.